Hey there, everyone. This is Dan from the Strength Coach Tutor. Thanks for checking in today. We are going to discuss the three classes of levers and hopefully make things a little bit clearer for you in terms of what they mean, why it's important, and how we can use them to our advantage. So let's go ahead and get started and look at a first class lever. A first class lever is designed or oriented in what we see below here. So what we have first is the muscle force on one side of the axis or the fulcrum. Then on the opposite side, we have the external force. All right. And so they act on opposite sides of the fulcrum. All right. And with the first class lever, we have what's called a mechanical disadvantage. And so whether or not we can, how we determine if a lever has a mechanical disadvantage or advantage is looking at the moment arms of the muscle force and the moment arms of the resistive force. And so with the mechanical disadvantage, that means that the moment arm of the resistive force is greater than the moment arm of the muscle force. So again, that is why we have a mechanical disadvantage. The exercise example that they like to give or provide for a first class lever, and they meaning the textbook, is the tricep extension or any type of elbow extension exercise. That is going to be an example that you should know as a first class lever. Okay. And again, important to understand that the muscle force and the external force act on opposite sides of the fulcrum. A second class lever has a true mechanical advantage. So we had just looked at where a first class lever has a mechanical disadvantage where the moment arm of the resistive force is larger than the moment arm of the muscle force. So in order to have a mechanical advantage, the moment arm of the muscle force is greater than the moment arm of the resistive force, okay? And so the orientation of a second class lever involves both forces acting on one side of the axis or the fulcrum, as we can see at the bottom here. But in this orientation, the muscle force is further away from the fulcrum than the external force. Again, so the muscle force is further away from the fulcrum than the external force, okay? The exercise example that the textbook likes to refer to for a second class lever is a calf raise or any form of plantar flexion. All right, now let's go ahead and check out a third class lever. Third class levers also have a mechanical disadvantage, right? So for the same reasons as a first class lever, the moment arm of the resistive force is larger than the moment arm of the muscle force. Now, the orientation of this type of lever is slightly different here. So we can see both forces are on the same side of the fulcrum, but now the external force is further away from the fulcrum than the muscle force, all right? And so this really determines why we have a mechanical advantage versus disadvantage, right? Because we've talked about moment arms. Moment arms are the perpendicular distance from the line of pull of the muscle to the fulcrum. And so if that muscle force is further away from the fulcrum, that's going to give it a larger moment arm, right? And so that's what gives us our mechanical advantage. The exercise example that they like to use for a third class lever is a bicep curl or any form of elbow flexion, all right? So guys, that's really a really brief, summary or overview of the three classes of levers. But to me, that's what I think is really important for you guys to know. And if you can understand the difference between the different forces in the moment arms and how each of these levers has a mechanical advantage or disadvantage, I think you're off to a great start. Keep working hard, guys, and I look forward to making another video for you guys here shortly. Thanks.